Something wild happened in the crypto world. There was a woman in China who built a Bitcoin empire worth about $6.5 billion, and now everything has come crashing down. She's often called the crypto queen, and her real name is Zhimin Qian, also known by the alias Yadi Zhang. For years, she ran a company that sounded very legitimate. She promised big returns, got thousands of people to invest, and collected a huge amount of money. But it turned out to be a massive fraud. Qian's company claimed to be an investment and wealth management firm. She told more than 100,000 people, even ordinary folks saving for their future, that her business would make their money grow. These weren't just big investors, these were regular people, families putting in whatever they had. Over time, she collected billions of yuan from her investors. It wasn't real business, though. It was essentially a Ponzi scheme. That means she was using the money from new investors to pay earlier ones, rather than generating real profits. Many people believed in her story, but she didn't build a proper business that earned money. She built a network that depended on constant new investment. Here's the twist. She converted a large portion of the money she collected into Bitcoin. Instead of just keeping cash, she bought tens of thousands of Bitcoin. When law enforcement finally investigated, they discovered she had over 61,000 BTC hidden in digital wallets. That amount of Bitcoin at its peak was worth around $6.5 billion, making this one of the biggest crypto frauds ever. When things began to unravel, she left China to escape the heat. She traveled through Southeast Asia, changed her identity, and eventually landed in the United Kingdom. She used a false passport and lived in luxury, staying in fancy hotels, wearing expensive jewelry, and behaving very lavishly. It seemed like she really believed her own lie, or at least was trying to live a lie for as long as she could. But British authorities were watching. They launched an investigation, tracked her movements, and found her. When they arrested her, they seized not just cash and fake passports, but the massive Bitcoin holdings too. Her digital wallets were linked to her, and she couldn't hide her massive crypto empire anymore. In court, she admitted to money laundering and acquiring property illegally. She was charged with financial crimes and fraud. Her scam was exposed, and victims started to realize just how much they had lost. Tens of thousands of people had trusted her, and many of them were left with nothing or very little. She was sentenced to a long time in prison. That part of her empire is over, but the legal and financial aftermath is just beginning. One of the biggest questions now is, what happens to that 61,000 BTC? How do you return value to all the people who were scammed? Some of them put in cash years ago, when Bitcoin was far cheaper. Do you pay them back in the original currency or in Bitcoin's current value? That's a major legal headache. Then there's the issue of jurisdiction. Her investors were mostly in China, but she was arrested in the UK. The Bitcoin is stored digitally in wallets, and the money has crossed borders. That means international cooperation between governments is needed, and victims may have a long fight to get their money back if they ever do. This entire scandal is a huge red flag for the crypto world. It shows how people can abuse trust and use crypto as a tool for wrongdoing. But it also shows something more hopeful. Crypto isn't untraceable. With blockchain technology, investigators could follow the trail, link her to the wallets, and seize the funds. This isn't magic money, it's digital, but it's still traceable. For beginners watching this story is a powerful lesson. First, always be skeptical about too good to be true investment offers. If someone promises huge, steady returns with little risk, that's a warning sign. Second, just because someone talks about crypto doesn't mean they're on the level. Scams happen, even on a massive scale. But even though this is a horror story for many, it doesn't mean crypto itself is a bad idea. The technology can be used for good. It's just that powerful things attract bad people sometimes. We must be careful, but also understand the real, positive side of crypto. Another takeaway, education is critical. As the technology becomes more mainstream, more people will come in. That means more people need to understand how blockchain, wallets, and security work, but also how to spot fraud. Learning about real cases like this is one of the most important ways to protect yourself. Authorities recovering tens of thousands of Bitcoin from a scammer is a big win. It shows that law enforcement can still fight crime in the crypto world. But it's not a perfect win. Not every victim will be made whole, and some may never get their money back. That's a reality many of them could face. It also highlights how international the crypto world is. Money moves fast, investments cross borders, and criminals try to escape to places that feel safe. But cooperation between countries is getting stronger. Scams like this may not be as easy to hide going forward. At the same time, there's a need for better regulation. If governments and regulators can set clearer rules, protect investors, and make it harder for fraudsters to run huge schemes, then the risk becomes more manageable. That doesn't mean killing innovation, it means balancing freedom with protection. This case also raises questions about trust and reputation. When someone builds a crypto empire, they often present themselves as visionaries. But behind the scenes, there might be something very different. It's a reminder to always check what's real, who's behind the promises, and whether their story makes sense. For people who lost money in her scheme, there might be a long road ahead. Legal battles, cross-border claims, and complicated financial proceedings will take time. But her arrest gives them a shot at justice and sets a warning example for future fraudsters. From a bigger perspective, this collapse could change how people view big crypto promises. Not all projects are scams, but not all leaders are honest either. This story may make investors more cautious, but that caution could also push the industry to mature. Even if thousands were hurt by her scam, the fact that it was uncovered and prosecuted sends an important message. Crypto crime is not a lawless realm. It's part of the broader financial system, and those who use it for harm can be held accountable. So what can you learn from this? Watch out for promises that sound too good. Do research on who is running a project or business. Understand the risks, and don't put your life savings into something you don't fully trust. Also, don't forget, there is power in crypto, real power, but that power comes with responsibility. Whether you're investing a little or a lot, being informed matters more than ever. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like the video, drop a comment with what you think. Do you believe the victims will ever recover their money? And subscribe if you want more stories like this. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates, because these stories matter and they teach important lessons. Thanks for watching. Stay smart, stay careful, and always think twice before you invest.